Hi guys, this is Josie in the Church and Effect. Thank you very much for tuning back. Today I want to talk about detransitioning, and it's one of those topics that actually came out on the previous video, that it was just because of the transgender people actually saying like they wanted their sex back. And this example of this person that I know that decided that uh, just because he liked to do cross-dressing and stuff like that, he just took it way too far. So it is, transitioning is not for everybody. Just because you are transgender, you don't have to transition. In the I mean, the dysphoria will always be there no matter what you do. And we see that just because every single person that I know is that they say like, oh, just this surgery and this will be done and now will be done. And then they have their surgery and they're like, oh, maybe this other surgery and maybe this other one. And they're never satisfied with what they have. So, and it becomes an addiction. Detransitioning is just going back to the way you were before the start transition. So I think that this happens because a lot of people actually make the decision of transitioning without having all the facts together, in overall, whether it's male to female or female to male. And a lot of people actually say like, well, I mean, uh, female to male, they have it easier and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, they might have it easier just because it's a little, it's a little, um, they can actually blend a little bit better than us, um, because their body starts to actually like build up and they start to gain strength, and then the beard. And once you have a little bit of beard, like nobody really cares. So, um, but uh, uh, but the thing is that like sexually for guys is actually trans guys is actually way more difficult, and that's where they find the obstacles, and then they realize what that actually all entitles. They don't know that what it's like to hold your ground, um, you know, and sometimes, a lot of times, as male, you have to hold your ground, and you have to get into a fight just because you challenge somebody else's opinion, and that idiot didn't accept that, and now he wants to fight you. So it is, some of that, I mean, you will not find it on the female spectrum. Yeah, I mean, there's always the exception of the rule, but uh, and overall is like always like, oh yeah, 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 and then like you get slapped, and then you get your hair pulled and all kind of stuff. And women fighting is kind of like kind of sort of ruthless in some ways, but cannot compare to male fighting, where if the other person actually gets carried away with what they're doing just because of the strength, they can kill you. So there's always that type of a situation that they might face. But then, obviously, for us, is a little more difficult to blend, especially when we start transitioning. And just um, to find a job as a woman by itself, I mean, it's hard. It's harder than males. I was able to get in, like, go to a workplace, and I was like, hey, I would like to have a job, and I can do this. Sure, here it is. I went the same way, and they're like, no, get out of this place before I call the cops. So it was, I got kicked out of places, uh, pushed away out of places, because they thought I was female, and my papers, they actually said male, and it was really hard. It was it was a hard lesson to learn. So it was just trying to sustain myself. It was very, very, very difficult. I relied on my friends and my friends' friends to actually just do handiwork, remodelings, and stuff like that. And I was doing the stuff like for really cheap, just to have something secure, um, just to not lose the job. And so, as a woman, you know that you have to undersell your, your labor as far as goes to this type of labor, and uh, little by little, they start knowing that your quality of work, and then you start charging what you used to have, what you used to charge. And but then the inflation is there, and then you end up with the same thing. Not really getting to that particular male level. um, but when it comes down to uh, just having the expectations and having this euphoria uh, of and these people that actually go into transitioning, and they have the euphoria and they run out of it, then that's when they start saying it like, what the hell am I doing here? This is not it. This is not what I wanted in my life. I didn't want to be discriminated by like this. I didn't want to be an object of ridicule. And believe me, all of those things to me mean nothing for the fact that I am myself. And but if you're thinking that is gonna be too much, you probably shouldn't transition. You probably have to give more thought than just saying it like, yeah, everybody's doing it, I'm gonna jump in the wagon, yay, and then suddenly like, yeah, I'm jumping away. See ya. And it is one of those situations where I I think that young people and people without access to the right information are actually doing, and not having all the facts, not having all the things that it may happen. Not that they're gonna happen to you, but again, there might be a possibility, and you have to be ready for that. Uh, Now, to me, it's like getting in, like walking on the street at 2 p.m. after being at a bar is a danger to me now. It used not to be when I was male. It was nobody bother me. But now it's like people following me, and it's just. And then what about if they get to me and then they find out that I'm trans? And that's when I realize, oh my God, this is a real danger. They might even kill me. Uh, because that's always a possibility, unfortunately. And so you have to be careful. You have to. It's not always being cute. It's not always being like looking nice and stuff like that. It takes a lot of work, and sometimes that is not even appreciated. And but you see, like my friend said, it's just life. It's you wake up, you gotta work, and you come home, and hopefully you find your reason to live there. You know. Um, so is it worth it? Of course it is. Is it for everybody? No. Um, is that wrong? No. I like I said, I mean, you can be transgender and never transition. That's fine. Like what what your brain is, you will never be. No one will be able to deny it. So, with all that being said, I think that younger people need to actually really inform themselves about what it is, about what this type of transgender life is all about, um, and just to learn that basically at one point you're gonna be taking a shower and you're not gonna be like, ooh, look what I have. You just go through the shower and you're like, oh, jeez, I gotta shave now. Ah. And that's the worry at that point, or that is the nuisance at that point. It's not like, oh, jeez, I can enjoy myself, like, oh, look at this. This is so pretty. Um, no, you're like, God damn it, I gotta be shaving. Why do I have to shave? You know? Don't shave. Do whatever the hell you want. You're entitled to it. You're a person of your own in your own universe. You can do what you want. So I just, if you happen to find that special somebody, um, I think that person is gonna take you for who you are. Like seriously, who you are. Um, I actually even might suggest dating pansexuals because they do fall in love with hearts. They don't fall in love with parts, and I think that's beautiful. Thank you very much, guys. I'm sorry this got too long. But it is what it is. Just don't forget to subscribe and like, and make your comments down below. Please be respectful. Tell me about your experience. Tell me if what I didn't cover or what you want me to cover. Just because, I mean, life is very complex, and not just because it worked for me is going to work for you. On the same token, not because it works for you is gonna work for me. So be careful. See you next time, and until the meantime, keep on smiling. Bye.